Sophia, when you grow up, you're going to marry our Alexander, okay? Your mom and I agreed on that even before you were born. You can't just start liking other boys, you know?
My mom has a supposedly close friend she's known since junior high school. They were in the same class back then, and they even managed to get into the same high school and the same university in the same city. They started dating, got married, and had their first child around the same time. It turned out to be a boy and a girl. We're the same age, but he's actually more than 7 months older than me. So when they found out I was going to be a girl, they were ecstatic and practically sold their son and daughter to each other. Of course, it was mostly a joke, but how was I, as a child, supposed to know that? Over time, I heard it so many times that I started to believe it was a predetermined arrangement, and I would naturally marry him in the future. At first, I felt a bit resentful about not having a choice in the matter, but on the one hand, his mom treated me like her own daughter, and on the other hand, he turned out to be quite handsome when we got a bit older, in my opinion at least. And he was really nice and caring. So I gradually didn't mind this arrangement. One day, during a family barbecue for Mid-Autumn Festival, while the adults were grilling, we kids were playing dodgeball on the side. I saw him raise the ball, taking aim at me, ready to throw it my way. "If you hit me, I won't marry you," I shouted in fear of being hit.
Really?
He stopped in his tracks, a bit surprised, and asked,
If I hit you, you won't marry me?
"Yes, really?" I nodded vigorously, thinking my tactic was working. "If you hit me, I won't marry you." But before I could finish, the ball came flying towards my face at lightning speed. In the end, I instinctively flinched, and the ball barely grazed me, bouncing off and ending up in the hands of another boy.
Pass the ball to me.
He ordered his friends.
I want to hit Sophia. If I hit her, I won't have to marry her.
That was probably the most intense and united moment in my life, where a group of boys went all out for me. So when did you start liking me again? Many years later, in high school now, I couldn't help but ask, why? Did you just realize I became beautiful and changed your mind? Gee, I was so heartbroken that day, he said with a hint of sadness, crying about how Alexander didn't want to marry me and throwing the ball at me. My mom was shamelessly laughing her heart out.
Is that so?
He scratched his head sheepishly.
I've always liked you, you know? Otherwise, why would I always offer to share my food with you? You eat so much. Don't you realize it yourself? You took the beef patty off my burger without even asking. It's just that back then, I felt like you didn't like me that much.
He continued.
Always complaining about this and that, saying you should learn from someone else. You wouldn't want to marry such an immature husband, would you? And I asked my mom early on if you had to marry me, and she said no. So if I liked you, I had to make an effort. Respecting a girl's feelings is important. I just thought maybe you were being forced by your mom. If I threw the ball at you, you would have a reason not to marry me. Perhaps you would be happier that way.
What's the password? I asked, changing the subject. Why hesitate? I just want to send a photo. I won't look at anything I shouldn't. Strictly speaking, it was me who forced him to confess in the end, because I needed to use his phone to send a picture I had just taken to myself, and I demanded the password. According to him, Revealing the password felt like going through a years-long siege and finally succumbing to the overwhelming force of an adversary who effortlessly kicked down the city gates. From then on, he had no choice but to raise the white flag, surrender, and admit that he had secretly liked me for a long time. In reality, he had always been jealous and didn't want to see me pursued by other guys who might not treat me as well as he did. So he decided to come forward himself.
Sophia, I don't have any secrets from you anymore.
He blinked his long eyelashes and said with a hint of sadness and vulnerability,
Treat your captive well, okay?
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba